All right, I am about to do this reading while I got some energy. So, shout out to everybody right now that is pushing through and persevering through procrastination, laziness. You know, you're just managing to get things done. I also want to say that right now we are spiritually going through a reset or a recalibration, if you will. So, with us being snowed in, for a lot of us being snowed in, this is time for deep introspection and heavy reflection. This is a time to think about yourself, your own needs, cater to yourself and your own needs. Do the things that bring you joy because it's the elements of snow and how quickly things are building up. It is asking you to slow down. So we are working with nature or nurture. So in regards to this reset and you having to sit still, you have been thinking about your finances. So the Ten of Pentacles was the first card that came out. And of course, I heard y'all talking about my money, what am I going to do? But I do feel like a 2020 vibe as far as like the reset that happened around that time. It's like we're getting pushed to think about other ways to bring in income. Now, because this was the first card that I had pulled for the collective reading, this means money is coming. Money is coming. And then I got this card to clarify it, the boat card, which means it is coming in. Okay, you are going to be receiving the finances that you need. Things are going to be good. So this is more or less not about finances as much as it's about you focusing on yourself. The finances are going to come. And I'm just hearing something about realistically, it's just time to be loyal to yourself. So in regards to your finances anyways, especially for those of you who have a more entrepreneurial spirit, you are being asked to work on your goals as far as that. Because that's for a lot of you where your income is going to be coming in this year. There's something about you breaking out of that structure of this is what I have to do to make money, and you are changing it to this is what I do, this is what I want to do to make money, or this is what I am doing, and it feels good for you. So right now you could just look at this as the universe intercepting the plans you thought you had. So, of course, to clarify all of this energy of you being in a reset, of this being beyond your control, higher forces are involved, you do have the release card here, okay? And so it says, I can no longer keep your secrets. So I do feel that whatever it is that you truly want to do within yourself, you can no longer hold it in. You have to get these things out. It can no longer be a secret. You have to share this. Beautiful quality with the world, okay? But amongst other things, Spirit really put heavily on me today, especially that because we're going through a reset, we are still releasing. So it's something about us being in the winter season and going with what is happening within that season, which is us letting go, letting things die out, so that when spring gets here, we really can have that fresh new beginning. So this is just clarity of what is happening in your life. And it makes sense when we put these cards together, the ones that we got out so far, especially with this being the first card about your finances, about your money. This is you releasing worry surrounding the energy of your money, because right now this is not, it's just something about it not really being the forefront. Even if you made that the forefront of everything, there was other things that you needed to look at, which was your happiness. You can no longer, something about trading your time in for money for things that don't really bring you joy. So this is you releasing all that when it comes to that, and things are going to be smooth sailing. So I like that energy for y'all. I love it. And this is also a growing period too. So again, this is confirmation that as you release, you are growing. And you've been in that growing stage for a long time. You have been releasing for a long time. I just think that when it comes to healing and spirituality and just getting to know the multi-selves, we have to remember that time is an illusion. So just know that it does take time, but it's not something that's like an overnight thing. You have been really working at things, even if you've been repeating certain mistakes, learning the same lesson, you are still releasing, I would say, that lesson finally, and you're growing into this new stage. So this was a part of your soul path. Okay, so another thing, okay, I do feel that when it comes to you, maybe it's because you are mentally getting older or you're becoming more wiser or mature. I think there's this energy of you. You're it's like you're going to release this idea of I need this divine counterpart to grow or to heal or to be my best self. I think that is some sort of codependent notion maybe we all have been kind of holding on to. So I think that we're releasing that and just focusing more on ourselves. Thus, we will gravitate the person that's meant to be in our lives. So it's something about you not holding on to the idea of a soulmate. You're more so focused on your soul, your own soul, and your own growth and your own evolution. And it's beautiful because with all that being said, now you get to think about your birthright. Now you get to think about, your finances and just all these ways that you can bring in income. And then I do hear this quote like, you were not born to struggle. So again, this is you also meeting people who are aligned and on your frequency, who are also releasing and growing, who are going to assist you in what it is that you're journeying to do right now. So I feel like that's a lot of beautiful confirmation. I feel like that's beautiful confirmation for you right now, just to really understand why you are being isolated, or maybe you have felt isolated for a long time and spirit is like you needed that alone time. You needed to connect with yourself, understand that you are your own soulmate. Okay. And so there's a lot about self acceptance right now. You just kind of having to accept that you have all the tools around you right now. You need to learn to work with all that you have. It's something about you learning to work with all that you have. You have all of the tools. So I feel like that's a beautiful message from Spirit. We're going to pull another oracle. This was our first oracle. It was the boat. And basically, it was clarifying that you are receiving what it is that you need as far as finances, as far as whatever it is for your well-being. You got that incoming. You are progressing. So this card is letting us know that shit is going to be smooth sailing. You just have to keep going. All right. You are in a state of moving on. So give yourself grace and release the need to get closure from certain people, because there's people who they're only but so far in their healing. So it's like, what closure do you expect for them to give you? You have to find your own closure by moving on. And I see that you will. Okay, now I know you can't see this my way, but this says the universe intercepted, relax, or the universe has intercepted, relax. I feel like this is clarifying. Mind you, isn't this football season? Okay, it's clarifying that there is a source outside of you right now co-creating with you, so you can relax about things that are outside of your control. That's why we are going through this reset, so that you can kind of reset your mind to see things, slow down, put time into the things that mean the most to you, that matter to you. This year is just a beautiful year for things to go well if you open your mind, if you recognize, if you can slow down and see. That's what I'm getting. So that is your reading. And all of this essentially is to restore balance. Okay, understanding you cannot make everybody happy, but as long as you're happy, okay, then people around you will be happy. That's the effect that you give. Okay, so that is the reading. Collectively, if you have questions or if you resonate with this, leave me a comment below. And I'll talk to y'all soon.